Hello everybody, and welcome back to my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring by Level Up Pup Gaming. Excuse me. Hope you guys are doing well. Last episode we ended here by the Gatefront ruins because we are going to head up north into Stormhill. So we got a sacred tier at the last church we were at, so let's go ahead and upgrade our amount replenished by using that sacred tier. And then we got a few items that we picked up in the last episode that we're going to read. So, Starlight Shard. An ephemeral sliver that gives off a pale blue glow. What remains of a passing flash of starlight, used to gradually recover FP. A prized item that was once used in the Eternal City as an ingredient in intoxicating droughts. Believe we got these ones. Or no, I already read these. Let's see, I think we got the Warming Stone. Rune Fragment, blessed with an incantation of the two fingers. Craftable item. Use FP to generate warmth, continuously restoring the HP of those nearby. It's said that the Erd Tree was once as warm and as gentle as the gentle sun, and would gradually heal all who bathed in its rays. Excuse me. We got some greases. Solidified grease made from a mixture of magically resonant materials. Craftable item. Coats armament, adding magic damage to attacks. The effect only lasts a short time. And then solidified grease made from a mixture of blood red materials. Coats armament, inflicting blood loss. And we already read over these. Rune fragment that has undergone a simple processing. Craftable item. Stones such as these shine with the color of the rainbow, making them useful markers when placed on the ground. Can also be dropped to gauge the distance of a fall. The higher the pitch of the sound, the higher the likelihood of the fall being fatal. Once used to entertain children on the fringes of the lands between. We've got the lantern, a small waste-worn lantern that illuminates surroundings. Used once to turn on and again to turn off. While its light is dimmer than that of a torch, it has the advantage of freeing up the user's hands. And then next we have, I believe we have not read the Fireflies. Where are they at? Oh, right here. Firefly that gives off a golden light. Material used to crafting items. Apologies. Found near bodies of water, close to minor Erd trees. The light of fireflies is believed to have an alluring magic. Golden light is considered to invite runes. And then the silver firefly is for discovery. To invite riches. So basically the same thing. Then, let's see here, we have Ghost Glovewort. White flower that blooms in catacombs, a spirit nestles close to it. Strengthens renowned ashes to +1. Ashes which keep their renown even after death cannot be strengthened by merely corporeal glovewort. And then we have a few tiers. A crystal tier formed slowly over the ages where the Erd Tree's bounty falls to the ground. Can be mixed in the flask wondrous physic. The resulting concoction restores half of one's maximum HP. Crystal tier, it's basically the same thing, only it tells you what it does. This one raises your maximum stamina. And then this one raises your faith. And then this one raises the amount of damage that you do for charge attacks, and it also raises the amount of stagger that builds up with each charge attack, so very good tier. A black, lightly beguiling stone, prized by the sorcerers who produce them, increases memory slots, said to be a fragment of the black moon that once hung above the Eternal City. And then we've read through these, so the larval tier, this is what I got for fighting that vicious rune bear. Core of a creature of mimicry known as a silver tier, as much a substance as it is a living organism. Material required by the amber egg cradled by Renala, queen of the full moon, to birth people anew. Being born anew allows the reallocation of attributes boosted by leveling up. So we're going to eventually have an option to rebirth, and you need a larval tier to do it. And what it does is it drops you back down to level 0. It'll take, so if we want rebirth right now, it would take me back down to my base level that I started the game at, which is level 1, and it would give me 26 levels to distribute how I see fit. So say I'm done with my character, I'm at like 180 or maybe I'm 190, I have 60 and 50 and 35, 60 in dexterity, and 60 in faith, but it's like, oh man, I kind of want to play with intelligence and strength. So I would go in Rebirth, and I would be able to take the attributes, the levels that I have in my attributes like dexterity and arcane, and switch them over to intelligence and strength. So that's what rebirthing is, and I'm going to do that a couple of times to showcase it for you guys, but most new players, I recommend just sticking with what you started with, or if you do know that you want to change to a different playstyle, I recommend getting 2 larval tiers. One, so that you can change to the playstyle that you want to try out, and 2, so that you can change back to the other playstyle just in case you don't like the new one or the new one's not working out. I think the most important build you can have in Elden Ring is the build that you are most comfortable with. It doesn't matter if it's the strongest, if it's the most popular, if it's the coolest, or if people think it's cheap or easy. It does not matter. If you're comfortable with what you have, the weapons you're using, the attributes that you've leveled up, that is the best build that you can do in Elden Ring. So, if you're comfortable with the playstyle but you want to try something new, make sure you have an extra larval tier so that if the new style is just not working out and you don't dig it, you can go back to what you're comfortable with. And we've read through all of these maps and everything. We didn't read this Royal House Scroll. This is what we got for clearing out that camp with the 2 magic skeletons that were shooting magic at us. Sorcery Scroll of the Carrion Royal Family, the heads of the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. Can be given to learned sorcerer to gain access to the following sorceries. So this is how we expand the spells that we can buy in the game and learn. We find these scrolls and then we give them to certain NPCs and then they'll have the option for new spells. We picked up Poison Mist last one. Incantation of the Servants of Rot. Releases a poison mist before the caster. This incantation be cast while in motion. Those who dwell within poison know rot all too well. The death that begins life, that comes to all equally. That is to say, it is the cycle of rebirth put into practice. And so, this is the reason that I'm reading this stuff. It's because little paragraphs like this are seriously where you're going to get most of the lore in the game from. Oh, we already read through these ones. Unsheath. Yeah, it just tells you what it does. I'm only trying to read stuff that has lore in it. Okay, Gravitas, skill originating from the Alabaster Lords who had Skin of Stone. Thrust armament into the ground to create a gravity well. In addition to dealing damage, this attack pulls enemies in. It's pretty cool. And I think we have a couple of weapons that we picked up. We already read that. Great EP. Large rapier featuring a thin, sharp blade, commonly used in life or death duels. Like its smaller counterparts, it is made for thrusting attacks and can be used while guarding with a shield. That's right, I forgot about that. Not a lot of people like playing against players that do that, but in this game, if you're using a rapier, which is a thrusting sword, so this is a rapier, and then this is a great rapier, I should say, and then there's smaller ones. You can hold block and attack at the same time. With this sword, however, if you try and hold block and attack, the block will release as you're attacking. But with this, your block will remain up, and you will block damage even while you're in the middle of an attack animation with the sword. So, very, 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 very awesome playstyle to get through the game with. So if you find a small rapier, which we'll find some merchants that'll sell some, then I recommend just using the 100% block shield that you have and poking while blocking until you get more comfortable with dodging. This curved great sword wielded by the brawny cell swords of Caden combines the blade of a scimitar with the heft of a hatchet, a difficult to handle weapon that demands much of the wielder's strength and dexterity, but with practice and ability, it can serve as a versatile weapon even on horseback. Twin blade. A sword with blades on both sides of the hilt. This weapon is difficult to wield and demands high dexterity. It can be wielded with one single hand, but its true strength is unlocked when a dual-handed spinning attack, and that's the charged attack for this, where you do a little spin. We already read that one last episode. Battle hammer comprised of a globe attached to a handle. Though a bludgeon dealing strike damage, the appellative star is covered in spikes, which causes blood loss. Ironic given its graceful name, the weapon often reeks of blood. We already read this one. Thick, solid lump of wood. Wielding this striking weapon requires no skill. A simple, primitive weapon that only requires brute strength to swing about. We already read that one. Yeah, we already read that. We read all our arrows. Small metal round shield, heavier than a wooden shield, but boasts higher damage negation. Though the gold leaf is peeling and the effect is slight, it still boosts holy damage negation. So when you're holding this, you will take less holy damage while this is on. Just like when we have this shield on, our stamina recovery speed is boost. There are passive effects that some shields have. So if we have this on and we're fighting somebody that does holy damage, we will take less holy damage because it boosts our damage negation for holy attacks. So that's what this shield does. It's pretty cool. We already read that one. Wooden tower shield, lightweight for a great shield and easy to handle, commonly used in the shattering. Great shields boast high damage negation and guard capacity, making enemy attacks. I think I already read that one. My apologies. Golden scarab worn directly on the head. These scarabs roll clumps of incantations during their labors. Slightly reduces the FP cost of incantations, but increases damage taken. As a scarab approaches death, it abandons its rolled treasure and stretches its wings wide for the long journey to its home nest. Kind of sad. Yeah, we already read these. Already read those. So, plaited cloth armor with a chainmail shawl draped over the shoulders, widely issued to foot soldiers in the Lord's army. Metal gauntlets covered in nicks and dents, widely issued to foot soldiers in the Lord's army. I already read those two. Boots made from tanned leather, travel attire worn by nobles in the capital. Abandoning their birthplace after the shattering, these undead wanderers are the pitiful product of unending life. Metal greaves that have already been mended countless times, widely issued to foot soldiers in the Lord's army. Let's see, Godric soldier greaves. Rust worn by unending conflict. I think we already read these. Yeah, we already read that in the last episode. Godric Knight Greaves. Time has yet to dull their luster. We didn't read this. Talisman depicting a gold ancient dragon. Boosts holy damage negation. The ancient dragons, who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erd Tree, would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manners of protections. And the charge talisman, I believe we've already read. Yeah, I already read that in the previous episode. So those are all the new items we have. So let's go ahead and open up our map and let me show you what we're doing this episode. So as you come over here, you're going to see right there, there's a big giant. And he's going to jump down as soon as we come in. There's a bunch of guards and some barricades trying to block us. We're just going to run past everything. We're going to hop on Torrent. We're going to jet past the giant. We're going to break through the barricades and run straight up the hill. And we're going to come right over to here. We'll be chased by some wolves. And right over here, there's going to be a Site of Grace and an NPC. So we're just going to run up there. We'll grab a gold seed on the way. And we'll get to the Grace, despawn all the enemies, talk to the NPC. And then we'll go through here and we'll start clearing everything out. There's a boss here that we're not going to fight. We're going to get some items. We'll take out the troll. And then we'll start going into this area and just clearing things out. And we'll eventually make our way through these woods. And we're going to sneak up towards this gate. We're going to come in, fight some guards, and grab a Grace right here. And then after we do that and we clear this area out, we'll head into these woods and meet another NPC. So let's go ahead and hop up on Torrent. And trust me, it's going to seem freaky because they're going to blow their horns and the giant's going to jump down. I promise, just keep rushing and you will be fine. They will not catch you. And ignore all the items on the ground. I mean, I guess you can grab it if you want as you're running by, but just try and ignore everything else. We'll come back through this and we'll clear everything out and grab all the goodies and take out the guards. So knock it off. Just go ahead and run on up the hill. We have entered Stormhill. Grab this gold seed right here. And then run up the road. There's going to be some dogs that are going to spawn. Some wolves, I mean. They might chase you up into the... up here. Just go ahead and grab the grace and see if you can sit down. Alright, there we go. Now everything's despawned. We'll go ahead and add a charge to our flask, because we got 2 gold seeds now. So for allocation, I'm going to do... Yeah, I'm still going to stick with 6 and 1 for now. Eventually I'll switch a few more over to my Cerulean flask, because we'll eventually end up using incantations, and that will eat up a lot of FP. So let's go meet another NPC now.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it.
So now we get a new gesture. We get to sit down the way she's sitting down right now, but keep talking to her. We're going to talk to her 3 times.
You're all on your own, are you? And heading to Stormveil Castle? Enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us 2 peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off. Or legs. Or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven. Oh, I know. Can you take this little one along with you?
And now we got a new Spirit Ash.
The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself. And the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little un. It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormveil Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know.
And so that's the end of her dialogue for now. So, what's going to happen is we're going to force her to move, and it's going to interrupt her quest. We're going to miss some dialogue because of it. What she wants us to do is she wants us to find something inside Stormveil and then bring it back to her and give her a message. I believe she might give you a smithing stone for that, but it's okay. We're going to find plenty of smithing stones. And then if you reload the area, she will have left you an item. What's going to happen, though, is we're not going to do that. We're going to go here, we're going to get a grace, and we're going to stop. We're not going to go into Stormveil. And then after we do some dungeons and we clear out the Weeping Peninsula, we're actually going to go around Stormveil Castle and head into the next continental area without doing Stormveil Castle. And that will cause her to move. And she will leave us the item in the shack, but we won't get the dialogue that we would get if we went and got the item from Stormveil and brought it back to her. And it's okay, we're just missing a little bit of dialogue, but it doesn't ruin her quest, and it doesn't ruin anybody else's quest, so that's what we're going to do. But for now, let's go ahead and start clearing out these areas. And I'll tell you a little bit about the jellyfish in a little bit. It's a pretty cool summon. So we're going to go down here, we're going to wrap around these woods. There's some items up here, a bunch of skeletons and jellyfish. And then we have a giant that's going to wake up. We're going to take him down, hit his feet. There's a boss right here, but we're going to come back to it a little bit later. But there's some items in here, and then we're going to take out that troll. Then we'll wrap around onto this little part right here and work our way up towards the bridge. And then after we've cleared all that out, we'll go up and get this grace right here, and then we'll move on. So let's go ahead and get started. Hope the volume and everything is okay. Hope I'm not too loud. Hope the game is loud enough. Hope my clicking on my keyboard and stuff isn't too loud. I bought a silent mouse and keyboard just for this walkthrough alone. It took me a while to get used to the new mouse too. Alright, so kind of working into the woods right now, so we got to come up and jump onto a ledge to get up to the upper part. So just going through and picking up any foliage that we see, any goodies. If you run across an animal, go ahead and see if they drop you some bones. Oh, yeah, sometimes the boars will drop hefty bones, which is what you use to make great arrows and larger bolts for great bows and great bolts, or great crossbows and stuff. Missed that feather. Oh well. Come on up over here. Some root resin. And then there's the jellyfish. These ones are passive because they're white. They turn red, then that means they're aggroed, and they will start spitting some poison at you. But over here, we got some goodies. If you want to fight the skeletons, you know, feel free. If you don't, if it's too much of a hassle, just right on out of here. Not have to deal with them. I'm going to go ahead and take them down just to get some runes built up. Oh, got another one. This one's got a shield, so he will block you and do counters. Got a little bit more HP, does a little bit more damage. And that Sacred Blade Ash of War that we found, if you put that on a sword and you hit them with the Sacred Blade beam, they will instantly die in one hit, and they will not revive. So that's another one of the holy spells or Ashes of War that keeps them from getting back up. And then we'll utilize that when we go into the catacombs later. We're fighting a bunch of skeletons in caves and stuff. Alright, there are a few aggroed jellyfish over here, so we're going to have to zip in, grab the goodies, and then zip out before they can hit us with their poison. If the jellyfish dropped any items for crafting, you know, then I would farm them, but they don't, so I just leave them be. But unfortunately, another thing that happens is when one jellyfish gets aggroed, it will spread, and the rest of them will get aggroed too. So unfortunately, as soon as these red ones see us, it's going to turn all the ones that are passive aggroed, and we're going to have to try. Where do you go? Where are you, dude? There you are. Come here. Oh no, I did not mean to hit the jellyfish. Oh, now they're all aggroed. That was an accident. Oh well. Alright, let's try and get the item and get out of here. I believe it's a summon. Yep, alright, so we got some new Ash of Wars, but let's try and safely get out of here before we get hit by these poison beams. Those skeletons dual-wielding the curved swords will drop curved swords if you're looking for a second one. Luckily, these jellyfish are too far away to be in the aggro range for the other one, so let's go ahead and just head on out of here. Let's get down to back down to the area we came from. That's everything up here. Okay. Now we got a stone golem coming up. He's going to get up really slowly. I'm just going to charge attack his legs and then give him a repost in the chest. And there are a ton of sheep in this field. Ton. Very, very good place to come and farm for thin beast bones for your arrows. Aw. He flew off. Oh, there's a Starlight Start over here. If you picked up the Starlight Start in the last episode, I recommend you leave this one for the quest later on that we're going to be doing. So always try and leave at least one Starlight Shard somewhere so that you don't have the hassle. Another thing you can do, if you happen to pick up the Starlight Shards, you get to this guy's quest, he tells you to go get one, you can't find one, you can drop a Starlight Shard out of your inventory and then just pick it back up and reload the game. Sometimes that works, but we're just going to go ahead and leave one just for the sake of making sure the quest progresses and we don't have to mess around with triggers or anything like that to get it to go forward. And so here's where the stone golem is. Give him an attack. I think, yeah, he only has like half health starting off, so just as he's getting up, just go ahead and stagger him. Then run over to his chest and give him a repost. And I do believe that I'm not sure if this guy respawns or not. Some of them don't respawn. Sometimes they do. Sometimes after you beat them once, they're gone forever, so. Okay. Oh, it's a bloodstain. Alright, come over here. I think there's some goodies by this ruins. And so what we have over here is another Everjail, just like the one that we fought Darrowell in with Blythe. And then down over there is the catacombs that we found while we were fighting the tree sentinel. Aha, Tyria leaf. That's what we came here for. Oh, we got some bats. I was like, what are you guys doing? Oh. So that you just heard was because the bat fell on me. As I said before in the previous episode, jumping and rolling has 1 point of damage, and it actually, there are some enemies that are super susceptible to getting knocked out of their attack animations just by rolling into them. So we come up here and we have a gesture. Crossed legs. So like I said, the gestures aren't important because there's no achievement attached to them or anything like that. They're just fun stuff your character can do, especially while you're in PvP or co-op. Bow to other players, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some farming, get some thin base bones, clear out all these poor sheep. And we'll go through and pick up all the bones after we knock them all out. Oh, he's mad. Sorry, man. Trust me, man, I like it less than you do. If it was not vitally necessary to get these thin beast bones, then I would leave them be. Okay, that's enough. Come over here, we got some wolves. We're just taking them down because if we don't, when we go try to fight this giant, they might aggro and come across and help him, so don't want to get grouped up even by something as simple as wolves. Let's go ahead and take them down. And the ball that you hear right now is just a FP or healing ball, so he sees us now. But we're going to actually fight him when we come in on the other side. Is he going to walk over here? Oh. He might actually come. Can he get up here? I've never actually seen him get aggroed and try and come up here, so I don't know if he can or not. Yeah, I don't think he can. Oh! Alright, well, be careful. I guess his breath can hit you on the edge of this cliff here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get up, so we'll come back for him. Here's an Everjail that we're going to come back to. Do not try it. The knight in there will just absolutely demolish you. And unfortunately, that's one of the fights that I'm going to force you to learn how to parry on. I'm not going to show you any other strategy except how to parry these guys. They are designed to be parried, and they are the best enemy to learn how to parry on. One of them. There's another one that we're actually going to fight this episode. I'm going to show you how to parry him. Alrighty, so I'll come up here, take out these wolves. Okay, or not. That was weird. Did he just jump off the cliff? Oh, I thought he jumped off. Hey, knock that off. Oh, he has a jump on you, dude. Alright, should be a Caden warrior down here and a couple of guards. But there's a talisman, a really good talisman actually, that we need to get. So if you're running low on FP and stuff like that, and HP, there's a couple of balls here. There's one hanging on the cliff, and then I think the FP one is over here. And then right here is the Caden warrior. Oh, hit me. Did you chill out, man? Man, can't get their armor. Okay, so this is a trap. We're gonna pull them out one at a time. If you try and rush in, then another one will wake up. See how he just poised through my attack, and he kept swinging. So the guys with the great swords, they'll do that. This guy won't, though. He'll get pushed back and staggered every time you connect with him. And then right over here is the talisman. In case you're wondering where we are, see the trolls right there, and this is the bridge to the ruins down below. There's the ruins. So this is literally on top of where we're at. Alright, let's get on out of here. Now we're going to go to the other side. We're actually going to fight that troll. Because I believe he's guarding a gold rune. But we will come back to this Everjail later, which is why I put a skull right there. Let's go ahead and take these off to let us know that we've cleared the area out. These little purple things are cool. You can attack them, and then they'll actually start attacking you. They'll spin around and stuff and hit you and knock you off your horse and stuff, but they'll drop rune fragments every time you take one out. And those are what you use to make the glowstones. And we got a lot of trolls that we're going to fight this episode. I believe there's a field with about 5 or 6 of them. And we're going to fight every single one. So you're going to get your practice in on with the trolls this episode. Just go ahead and get some foliage. Come down, we'll take them out. Grab them beast bones if they drop any. Or not. Guys, can I get some bones? No? Wow, not one. Drop me a bone. Sorry, guys. Alright, come down over here. I believe this is smithing stone. We'll go sneak up on the troll. There should be some wolves guarding him, though, so we gotta take the wolves out first. Come on, Wolfie. So one thing I should probably mention is you want to get used to rolling away. It's just, it needs to be in your muscle memory. I don't know if you noticed there, but as the dogs were kind of attacking me and I was waiting for my stamina to come back up, the first thing I did was just roll away. And it's a habit you really want to get into because you're going to get attacked by other... Even if you're like the person you're fighting makes an attack animation and they're done, if you don't have the stamina to attack, or if there's somebody coming up behind them, you might just want to get in the habit of rolling away. As you see, I did that, and it kept me out of the distance of some of these dogs that were running up on me. So rolling away is just, it's always a good option. It's something you want to get used to doing because you're going to be doing it a lot in this game. So let's go ahead and see if we can sneak up on this guy, give him a couple of charged attacks. I don't think we're going to be able to get the stagger because of the angle that he's at. See, I attacked and then rolled away. Oh, he's already... Thought he was going to do his yell, but nope. He's ready to fight. Get him to stagger. Oh. will not stagger. This is crazy. Oh, stagger. Damn, I want to stagger. Come on, hit. There it is. I don't think we're going to be able to get the repost though, so let's just go ahead and give him some stamp word uppercuts. Could have sworn he was guarding a gold rune. Maybe it's down here on the ledge. There it is. Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and very gingerly drop on down here to this rune. Grab that, and then we can hop back up on Torrent. Hop back up on here. And we'll get on out of here. If you have trouble fighting him on this little small area, you can pull him off onto here. He'll run up on there, and you can get into this area and have some more space, or you can just grab the rune and take off. If you don't want to fight him on that small little ledge, it's understandable. Some butterflies there. I'm not getting that. That is way too close to the edge, so. Let's go ahead and fill up our FP. We'll go take out these octopuses here. I'm so sorry, turtle. And here's the field with all the trolls that we're going to have to clear out. Oh, and unfortunately, we're going to have to come back because it is nighttime right now, and there is a boss in that field that comes out at night, and we're not ready to fight it yet, so. We'll go ahead and get everything that's over here. There's no way into that place, so let's go fight these bats. I'll go up to that graveyard, and then go to a grace, and we'll make it morning time. You stop. Alright, so remember, sneak up behind them, give them a charged attack, doesn't matter how many. Those guys are there. Focus on the charged attack, and there's the stagger. Oops. Almost missed the stagger. Oh no, he does. Let's do one more charge. Garden Trina Lily. Vitally important for making sleep pots and arrows, which as you saw, that's how I took down the rune bear in the last episode, was sleeping him. So, don't want to sleep on sleep pots. Pun intended. Okay. So we'll go ahead and skip the trolls for now. We'll come back to that field after we sit down and decide a grace. We'll go up here. Should be a graveyard, some bats. And back. Oh, there he is. Why do you go down there? What are you doing, dude? Get in my coin purse. Alright. I'm not too sure if there's anything else in there. Oh yeah, this has bombs in it, so as soon as you ride by, you're going to hear a little right there, and then they're going to blow up. You don't want to be anywhere near it when they blow up. They'll do some pretty good damage. It'll probably knock you off torrent, take like half your health, so stay away from these. Come here. My lord. And after they blow up, they always drop a rune fragment. And remember, you can always use these runes that we find here to level up if you want to, but I am going to save mine for upgrading weapons a little bit later in the game. I will use gold rune 1s because we find so many of them just laying around on the ground, but things like gold rune 5, I'm going to save that for upgrading weapons a little bit later in the game, especially because I'm going to be rebirthing and using lots of different weapons. You guys will probably only have like 4 or 5 weapons that you guys stick with. with your build, unless you do actually rebirth, then yeah, you're probably going to want to have gold runes to upgrade your weapons with, just like I am. Okay, so right over there is the shack with Rodrika, I think her name is. The one that gave us the jellyfish. So there's the shack right over there. Over here is another runes. Actually, yep, no, since it's nighttime, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go up here, and we're going to grab the grace for the castle. But we're not going to actually go into the castle and fight the bosses yet, because we are not ready for that castle. That castle is very brutal. We're just gonna wrap around, search this little landmass right here. We'll go around inside under the bridge. We'll stop right here, and then we'll come back, come down in here, and then we'll make our way up into the front gate because it's guarded by some guards and ballistas, so we gotta sneak. So it being nighttime, it's actually perfect to do this now. Get out my way, squirrel. Oh. Right, forgot we got the lantern. Let's go ahead and turn that on. The lantern does not increase your visibility for guards and everything like that, so if you're crouching in some bushes or something and you turn the lantern on, it's not all of a sudden going to make a guard see you or anything like that. It's just a light source, so if you're sneaking around trying to get stuff done, you don't got to worry about the lantern exposing you or anything like that. Bone darts. So now that we got enough Thin Beast bones, I'll go ahead and just max out on the bone darts. You can only hold 40 at a time, so once I get down to about 1 or 2, I go ahead and just restock up, but I don't go past any of that because we're gonna get more. We're gonna get more better daggers. Oh well. Later in the game, we'll have access to way better daggers, and we'll just all around stop using the bone darts completely. So that's why I'm not like maxing out and going into my inventory. I'm just carrying the max that I can carry. Stormhill is always stormy, even if it's daytime or anything like that. There's always a storm going on, because hence the name Stormhill. Go ahead and talk to this finger reader here.
Please, I can read them. Your fingers, please, your fingers. Oh, bless you. Head to the fountain of gold, Tarnished. Traverse Rea Lucaria, glintstone eventide, and reunite the half-crescents at the grand lift. Oh, but the bridge is collapsed and cannot be crossed. Only, why should that matter? Stormveil Castle still stands tall.
And that's all she has to say. And so down this way is the path to take us around Stormveil Castle and into the next land mass of the game, which we will do after we have cleared out caves and beaten some bosses on this land mass. And we'll be going into that area to get some smithing stones to upgrade our weapons early and be a bit cheeky. And we're going to some bats here, so be careful. Knock them all down. Just come up and give them a smite. And we're going to grab a couple of Ashes of War that'll give us the ability to put frost on our weapons. So we'll have frost on weapons that have bleed. And bleed and frost is a vicious, vicious combo. Ignore that Ash of War for now because it's a trap. You will get attacked if you go near it. So we're going to come up in here, grab these herbas, and then we're going to... So right now we have literally just cleared out everything in this area right here. We're going to go down and sneak around these guards and take them out from behind. You can rush in, but they will blow the horn and everybody will chase you to the grace, and it will be pretty stressful. So instead we're just going to... And you can summon the doggos here if you want some help. But for us, we're just going to sneak in and use target lock. So if you press target lock, it'll show you where a guard is. Go ahead and throw a dart and get him over to you so he doesn't... Oh, well, that's a bummer. I didn't know this guy had a horn. So fortunately, we're going to have to fight our way through this. You see how I attacked and then rolled away? It's because I was expecting another guy to come up and attack me. So we're getting shot at. This is fun. And now we got some guys with spears, which is not good. Roll away. No, I missed him. Heal. So yeah, sorry. Guess you should have snuck up on that guy. I didn't realize the first guy had the horn, so that was my bad. So that's what'll happen. You'll get rushed by everybody in the group if they blow the horn. So go ahead and take them out. Whoever's left, shooting arrows at me. There's a crossbow. The crossbows are very, very bad in this game. Not worth it. They do some good damage, but there's only one crossbow in the game that is worth using because it shoots rapid bolts out of it. It shoots 3 at a time. That's the only crossbow that is valuable to use. All the other crossbows are just super insanely slow. It's not worth it. It's much, much better to use bows. And so normally we would have come through here and snuck up and reposted everybody one at a time, but since the horn got blown, everybody left their stations, and so we got a few guards up here still. But everybody else left their stations, so we don't gotta worry about cleaning everything out. But let's go ahead and duck down, then we'll come up and take this guy out first so he's not shooting arrows at us. And then we'll go ahead and take out his friends. See, that's why I rolled away. I didn't even see him as I chose to roll away. I had a feeling that somebody was gonna come up and attack me while I was trying to take out this guy. So I rolled away, and I was right. The roll kept me from getting poked by that spear behind me. So it's always a good habit to get into. So do not walk out here. If you walk out here, you will start a boss. That's a summon sign for us. It's a character that will help us with this fight, but do not go out there. We're nowhere near ready for that boss. He will demolish you. Just going to touch this grace. If you need to sit down to rest and replenish your flask, go ahead. But I'm going to go ahead. Can't pull Torn out yet. I'm going to go ahead and run down here and get this Ash of War first. And I believe... Oh, looks like it's about to... Well, it's still nighttime, so... We'll get this Ash of War real quick from this scarab down here. Oh, no. Disappear? Oh. Well, that's something I just learned. So, apparently if they blow the horn, that Ash of War disappears. So, yeah. I guess we're going to have to respawn and work our way through the soldiers to get to that Ash of War again. My apologies. These are the things that I'm nervous about making this guide, is wasting time with stuff like this. I apologize. So I'll go ahead and work my way through them as fast as I can and get down to the Ash of War and try and nab it. Didn't think it would disappear after the horn was blown, but I guess it does. Even after all the work I put into this game, I'm still learning things every time I play it, so let's go back in here and sit down at the Ash of War. Or I'd sit down at the Side of Grace and get this Ash of War. And we'll make it morning time so that we don't run into any nighttime bosses. Might as well go ahead and see if we have enough for a level up real quick. And we do. So we're at strength. And so eventually, once I get this strength up to 20, then I'll stop increasing it for a little bit so that I can focus on getting some of my other attributes caught up. Once I get endurance up to 20 as well, then I'll start focusing a little bit more on mind and vigor. So you just kind of, you don't want to focus completely on just one attribute, and you don't want to try and spread out your attributes and do all of them. It'll cause you to have a very, very slow game. Just go ahead and walk on up and repost these guys. See, this guy with the same sword as me, he has the exact same sword I do. He has a lot of poise, and he'll poise through your attacks and keep swinging, so. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the soldiers with great swords and big hammers and stuff like that. They have actually a ton of poise, and they will poise through most of your attacks. Okay. I'm gonna make sure the dung beetle is facing the other way so we could sneak up on it. Wild strats. It's actually a pretty decent Ash of War, especially if you put it on a really long weapon and you have on very good armor to poise through some stuff. Yeah, you'll do some vicious combos and take out a lot of guys. See that little thing he was doing, swinging his knives around a whole bunch. If you get caught in that attack animation, you will get knocked off Torrent every time. It'll catch you, and you won't be able to get away from it. And yeah, see, like that. As soon as he hit me, Torrent just stopped, and I couldn't even pull away. So if he had continued swinging, I would have just got locked in place, and then he would have knocked me off Torrent. It's very, very aggravating, so be careful of that. All right. So next, we're going to go ahead and come down in here and fight all those giants that we couldn't fight before because there was a boss in the area that we don't want to fight yet. Here. I was like, do you see us? Let's go ahead and heal first. And then, just as always, run up, give him a strong jump attack. Give him another charged. There it is. Run over. So I can give him a charged attack and then repost him. But after you repost him, his stagger meter starts over again. So you can't build up stagger and then repost him and then stagger him right away. The stagger meter will go right back to 0 once you do the repost. So now his stagger meter is back to 0, and I have to start building it back up again. But you can still do some damage before you do the repost. You know, it gives you a few seconds before the repost goes away, so you can actually do like 1 or 2 light attacks or a charged attack and then repost him. So come up over here and we get our strength not crystal tier. So now we can do the same thing that we, oh, and there's a arteria leaf, don't want to miss that. So now we can do the same thing that we can do with the faith crystal tier. We can up our strength by, I think it's 3 or 5. I'll find out the number. I apologize that I don't know that. I have it in my notes and I don't have my notes with me. But it ups it for, I think, anywhere between 2 minutes to 3 minutes, and I'll look up the actual number for next episode. And I did look up a number that I was missing last episode. Bleed, the damage that a bleed does is based on the percentage of your max HP and your arcane. So the higher your arcane, the more damage the bleed will do, and the higher your HP, the more damage the bleed will do when you actually pull it. Because the bleed percentage is based on your HP, and it does not specify what the percentage is. So it's pretty big. It does a really pretty big amount of damage. So when I'm fighting Melania and my spears do about 1,000 damage a poke, when I pull a bleed off, it'll do anywhere between 5,000 to 6,000 damage. I have 1,900 health, so I'm not too sure how to calculate that because I'm not too good at math, but all you need to know is when you pull a bleed off, it does a lot of damage. Now, frost is kind of the same thing. The frost that we were using... Okay, so this is where the graveyard is, so we're going to go down here into... past that squid. We're just going to go past it. We're going to go down into here where all these trolls are. Now, we're going to try and fight these guys one at a time because we do not want to get grouped up. That will be absolutely horrible. Let's go ahead and just sneak on over. Before this guy can get in the range of anybody else, we're going to go ahead and attack his legs. Oh, I missed him. Stop talking. Make sure none of the other guys can see us. Oh, there we go, saw us. That's not good. Let's come over here a little bit. Man, that's a big explosion. Uh-oh, the other one saw us. So we're going to have to get on Torrent here and come up over here, because now there's two aggroed onto us, which is not good. And even at a distance, they can still hit you with their breath, so... Yep, see, just barely missed me. So we're going to have to come over here and get him to either de-aggro, or we're going to have to get around to the other one so that we can take him down, and then we'll fight the other one. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, they lost sight of us, I think. So this is the one that we were fighting. Nope, that's the other one. So this is the one that we were fighting. Apologies. Oh, now the squid is mad. Yeah, this isn't going as smoothly as I'd hoped. Okay. So let's go find the one that we were fighting. It's not him. It's this guy. Oh no. Ah! He killed his friend. That works out good for us. There it is. Board. Give him a smack and then a repost. Yeah, sorry that got so messy. I didn't mean to aggro two of these guys at once. It's not good. There it is. There we go. Okay. So now we got a little bit of more clearing here. So there you see this one here. He's kind of sitting there and he's guarding an item. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and we're going to aggro him. And then we're going to have him come down here. And we just need him to bump into this. Once he bumps into this, it will crack open and there's an item inside that we want to get. So let's go ahead and run on up and give him a couple of attacks, maybe even a repost. Because it gets up pretty slow. So yeah, let's go ahead and give him a repost. And then we'll have him chase us down over to the statue. There we go. That's all we needed. Shoot. I always mess that one up. I need to remember that they're gonna slam after they swipe. Yep, see. There we go. Learn from my mistakes. Alright. So, he has cracked open the statue, and we can get some smithing stones. There's going to be a lot of those in the game, actually, where we have to get some pretty hairy enemies to chase us over to some of those to crack them open. So, got a couple more trolls. Let's go ahead and take them on down one at a time. Go ahead and come back this way so that we don't aggro the other one. I do not feel like fighting another two of these at the same time. It's not fun. So let's go ahead and just wait for him to do his thing, come at us. Oh, thought he hit me. And slam. Wow. Okay, that's got some blowback on the AoE. You want to be careful of that. So that's what I think he's going to do whenever I get hit by that sword slam. And then he does that. There it is. No, you just want to dance around and dodge around until they slam their sword down and then give them some charged attacks to their feet so you can get a repulse off. So I know these guys are tedious, but once you kind of get the hang of them and you see the flow that I'm doing, it'll make the boss fights that we have with these guys later on coming up a lot easier to handle. Last one. There's the song. Stop your yelling. A charged attack. And a repost. Let my stamina build up so you can see I'm totally out of stamina. There we go. Oh, I got you now. Now we'll just finish him off. Stampward uppercut. Right up the middle. Vicious. Vicious way to go, you guys. Okay. We are done. I'm sure we have enough for... Why can't I not get this skull? I'm sure we have enough for a level up now, too. Because those guys drop 1,000 runes apiece. Very, very, very juicy. Wow, that was very close to falling off to my death. Here's the one that was guarding that stone, so we'll come down. He's guarding some leaves as well, so we'll come down on there and get his stuff. But right here, if it's nighttime, a boss will spawn, and we are just not ready to fight it yet. It's not too difficult of a boss because it's very weak to certain effects in the game, so it'll make it very easy for us to actually beat it, but until then, hey. I'm just gonna clear out everything on the field. And also, right down in here is a camp that we're gonna clear out in a little bit. And this is the way that we will come into the camp, because if we go in any other way, there are traps and they will see us and everybody will aggro, and it'll be just like the gate front that I accidentally aggroed everybody in. Until then, we're just going to kind of come up here and check these ruins. I know on the ruins across the way there is a weapon, but up here there is nothing. So it just gives you a view of the camp that we're going to clear out. So right in front you see the fence and stuff like that. There's dogs, and across the way on the temple you can see the little item right above my head. That's a pretty good great spear that we're going to get. So let's go ahead and come back down around here. And we're going to meet another NPC, and then we're going to fight an NPC. Remember, NPC stands for non-playable character. So they're characters like us. They have dialogue and they talk and everything like that. But we can't play as them or play with them. Okay. Oh, we also want to take out those all the trolls to get us some runes, because this guy has some Ashes of War that we want to purchase. And so right over here is the road that would lead us into the woods. So we've met Rodrika, we cleared out all of the trolls. This is that lake with the squid. So right now we're just going to go up in here, go to the shack, and then we're going to clear out these woods. Oh, good lord! I thought I could hear some footsteps, and I was like, what's going on? Oh, what? He won. Well done. What? Come on, man. There. Good lord. Give me your armor. Nope, no armor. I love their armor. It's one of my favorite armors in the game, but no luck this playthrough. I get it in like almost all my other playthroughs, but so far, no cheese. Oh, there's one more Caden Warrior. Let's go ahead and take him out. Oh, get that out of the way. Come on, man. What is happening? It's like just barely missing these guys. There. No armor still. This field that we're about to go through is the best field to farm for crafting materials in. One of them. Obviously, there's some plants and stuff missing here that we got to go to other areas to farm for, but this, for Roa fruit and just basic items like smoldering butterflies and herbas, this is a great place to farm. So, first thing we're going to do is come on over here to this side of Grace and meet this NPC. I'm going to see how much I need for a level up real quick. 5,000. Okay, so I will do one level up. Let's see, I just did strength, so I'm going to do dexterity. Start getting that up. And that should leave us enough runes to buy some stuff.
Not seen you before. Name's Bernahl. Tarnished, just like you. Let me ask you something. Are you here in the lands between to take up the fight? Does your faith in the guidance of grace hold firm, despite the collapse of the Golden Order? Yes, you're a Tarnished through and through. Takes me back. But that's a quality needed now more than ever. Any interest in bearing the torch of my battle arts? All I know is the sword. Picked up a fair few tricks in my time, too. Now's the time to pass them on. To a good and proper Tarnished, like you.
Alright, go ahead and exhaust his dialogue.
There's a myriad of battle arts in these lands that I've yet to discover. Mementos of all the warriors who raised their arms in battle. Lost and died. A fine tale, all told, of true chivalric romance. That's how I fell in love with the sword. And the arts of combat. It grants meaning even to falling in battle. To death itself.
Alright, learn skills. So he sells Ashes of War, so this is the one that we have. So, you know, what's the point of buying it if it's already on the sword? It's so that we can add an affinity. Go ahead and buy Kick if you have the runes for it. These are the ones that I'm going to recommend we buy. We're going to buy Spinning Slash, Kick, Impaling Thrust, no skill, and then we're going to come back and buy the rest. But I'm starting off with those. No skill is very important to put on a shield if we want to still use the weapons skill, because if a shield has a skill on it, then it'll do the shields.
Until we meet again.
it'll do the shield skill instead. Now, because we bought something from him and exhausted his dialogue, I want to show you something real quick. If we rested a side of grace, turn it to night. You see Bernahl there, and then if we stand up and then sit back down, oh, what's going on here? Exhausted his dialogue.
Ah, hello. Here to learn.
So we bought something from him. You might have to buy all of them. Nope, there we go. You see he's gone now. And if we see all the bloodstains there, if we walk towards the shack, a boss will spawn. And this is the boss that I'm going to teach you how to parry on. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and push forward and keep meeting some NPCs. I just wanted to let you know that if it's nighttime, you need to be wary, because sometimes bosses will pop up. Now, to get this one, we had to buy an Ash of War, exhaust all his dialogue, and then to get the boss to spawn, you have to make it nighttime, sit down at the side of grace, and then stand back up, and then it should spawn in. So we'll go ahead and make it morning time right now. We're getting close. I promise that next few episodes we're going to start fighting bosses and stuff like that. And is he not there? Oh, wow. Sit back down. It should spawn him. And there he is. And so if it's morning time or noon or something like that, then the boss won't be there. But just be warned, there is a boss hiding in that shack, and we will come to it. But first, we're going to clear out all this field. There's some dogs that are going to spawn. You can ignore them, take them out. Sometimes that guy will drop his staff if you're looking for a staff. Come back around here. Now we're going to ride up towards this camp, but we're not going to go into it. We might aggro the guys that are at the front. They'll chase us for a little bit, and then they'll give up. Because we're going to go into this camp through a side way. As you can tell, even right here. See, now I just aggro the entire camp. So they'll chase me for a bit, but don't worry, we're not going to go into camp yet. We're going to keep grabbing supplies as we go through this field. These woods, I should say. And a bunch of dogs will keep spawning, and they'll chase you for a little bit, but they're not fast enough to catch you, so don't worry. There's a couple of bombs around too. And so just make your way up into these woods and start collecting all the foliage. If you want to fight the doggos, go ahead. Hey, get him out of my way. And then we're going to come up over here, and we're going to fight a knight on a horse. It's not a vicious knight, it's just a normal soldier on a horse. Kind of like the Caden warriors on the horses. But he drops one of the most vital and important Ashes of War in the entire game, and one that is going to make our lives so much easier. And also on top of these runes, there is a shiny with a smithing stone inside of it, so we'll grab that too. Go ahead and grab all the smoldering butterflies you can. These little fields that are burning will have smoldering butterflies. It's a good place to farm for them. You can hear the shiny, but first we're going to take out this knight just in case he sees us and chases us. So we're just going to give him a charge attack, then a stampward uppercut. Should do the trick. Oh my gosh, I missed. So that what he just did there, he just increased his defense and his attack. Oh, howie. Sit still. Sorry, horsey. And he will drop us Golden Vow. It is a Holy Ash of War, so when you try to put it on, you can't use other infinities like Bleed or Frost. It'll only allow you to do Sacred or just standard scaling. But we're going to put it on a dagger, and we're going to keep it in our inventory so that before we go into a boss fight or a tough area, we will use it to give us a boost in defense and attack power. It is awesome. Get our smithing stone. And now now that's done, we're going to come over and fight an NPC. So this is our first invasion of the game. It is based off of something that used to be for multiplayer in previous Souls games, where if you put down a sign, it will connect you to another player's game, and you'll come in as an invader. And you'll be covered in, well, I guess it used to be blue, but now in this game you'll be covered in red. And your goal is to beat the host. Now the host is the person who's playing the game. So if I get invaded and somebody's trying to attack me, I'm the host. It's my world. And so they've invaded to my world. And the option, or the goal, is to defeat them, and their goal is to defeat me. You cannot teleport or send them home until they are gone. So once you've been invaded, the mission now becomes you have to either go to the boss of that area and go into the boss room, which will despawn the invader and send it back to their world, or you have to fight the invader and take them out. So, with that being said, we're about to fight an NPC that's going to invade us, but it's not a player. It's not an actual human being that's playing the game and invading us. You cannot be invaded unless we turn a certain item on, or unless we have somebody else in our world. So if I summon a friend and we're walking around playing, it now opens up our world to be invaded by other players. Or I can turn on an item called the Taunter's Tongue, and the Taunter's Tongue will allow me to be invaded by other players, even though I don't have any other people in my world with me. So, that being said, we still get invaded, but they're by NPCs. They're, computer. But it's part of the storyline, and so for this storyline, we're about to run into an invader right over here by this Colosseum. And then I'm going to open up the Colosseums and explain what they are, but I'm not going to show you what they do. I told you that previous episodes that we're staying away from PvP in this walkthrough. I'm going to show you how to get to it, I'm going to show you how to turn it on, what to do, and then that's it. But as soon as we come close to this Colosseum, Torrent's going to disappear. And when Torrent disappears, it'll take a few seconds, and then it'll say that we've been invaded. And then we're going to have a guy come and attack us. And it's a different fight than bosses, because they actually heal, and they actually roll, and they actually... Oh, I can't put Golden Vow on. They actually roll, and they actually dodge your projectiles very, very well. So it's a little bit of a different fight, but as long as you just dodge away and then do jump attacks after he's done swinging, you should be fine. It shouldn't be too difficult of a fight. He does have some vicious fire attacks that we need to stay away from the AoE, so let's go ahead and drink our flask. And as you see, we get close. All of a sudden, I hop off Torrent. I didn't do that. That just happened. So go ahead and switch over to our bombs. As we come over here, we will get invaded. Invaded by Recusant Henricus. So watch, I'll try and throw something at him, and he rolls. So they have some intelligence, but as long as you just back away and then return, you should be okay. Just roll away, wait till he attacks, and they're kind of cocky. Now he's two-handing, so he's going to do more damage if he hits us, so stay away, back away, and he's going to heal too. Eventually you'll see him back away and try and heal. Oop. Ooh, that was a good one. I'll heal. So you think you almost have him down, and then he's going to heal. That's very annoying. There's the fire attack you want to stay away from. It creates lava. That lava will burn you if you go near it, so stay away from that. Oh, what? How'd that not hit him? Yeah, jumping gives you iframes too, most of the time, so now he's probably going to heal. Oh, my goodness. Surprised he hasn't healed yet. Gotcha. Rest in peace, dude. Alright, now we got the hammer talisman. Oh, we got the jellyfish too. Let's read those. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon spirit jellyfish. A floating spirit that illuminates its surroundings. Prone to tears, the jellyfish girl searches for her distant home. Will bravely spew poison at foes on her summoner's behalf. It seems her name is Aurelia. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon the spirits of two Godric soldiers. A duo of spirits consisting of a wielder of devastating charged hammer attacks in the vanguard and a crossbowman bringing up the rear. The soldiers who serve Godric the Grafted are what remains of the army that fled the royal capital of the Erdtree. And then we have a talisman. Oh, we have 2. Talisman depicting 3 arrows carried by hunters of beasts. Increases the effect range of bows. Very useful. Talisman depicting a hammer and a knight enhances stamina, reducing attacks against a blocking opponent. Hammers are highly effective against shield-bearing foes, so much so that they are known as night killers. So this one will increase the range of our arrows, and this one will, when we attack somebody that is holding a shield, it will cause them to stagger more frequently, so we can give them a repost. So, come on up over here. Just going to grab the foliage. I do not believe there's anything inside here in these little crevices, but we'll just check just to make sure. I'm always second guessing myself. I always think like, hey, there's nothing over there, and then there is. So let's always just go check. Always good to check. Come all the way up to the corner so you can't go anymore, and then work your way back. Nothing. And so before, now let's just go ahead and go in. Use Duelist Finger to write a red summon sign. Competitive multiplayer will begin once you have been summoned by a player from another world. You will take the role of an adversary, duelist, and your objective is to defeat the host of fingers who summoned you. So, small red effigy, duelist red finger. So the effigy will send your finger out to all the other effigies that you have turned on that I showed you in the first episode. And the red finger is just the opposite of the yellow finger. So you put a red sign down, people will come up and they'll see your name and your character's build, and then they can choose to summon you, and then you two fight. So that's what that is. Now we're going to go ahead and open up this door so I can show you the Colosseum. United Combat and Combat Ordeals. To engage in combat with other players, touch the effigy of America in a Colosseum. United Combat and Combat Ordeals can be undertaken in this venue. In United Combat, 2 teams of fighters clash. Combat Ordeals are all-out brawls in which every combatant is out for themselves. So there are 3 of these in the game, and they'll take you into behind in here. So once you actually get connected with another player, you guys will appear in an arena right here, and you'll fight. It limits you, so once enter Colosseum Combat, and then with the Colosseum menu, you can adjust the rules for Colosseum Combat, such as format, player count, and use of spirit ashes, etc. You may also set your Colosseum password here. You can jump straight into combat from this menu. So, you go to Combat Ordeal, or United Combat, which is teams. Combat Ordeal is either one-on-one or free-for-all. And so you can do 2 combatants, which would be one-on-one, and then any number, which is a free-for-all. Or 6, it's basically a free-for-all too. Spirit Ashes in this one are prohibited, but there's another one in Caelid, a different landmass, where you can use Spirit Ashes. If you click on F, both players are enemies and have limited time, 300 seconds, 5 minutes, to down their opponent as many times as possible. Usage of Flask of Crimson and Cerulean Tears is permitted, but limited in number. You only get 1 of each. The use of Spirit Ashes is prohibited at this one, but at a different one, you'll be able to use Spirit Ashes. If you just want to fight with just friends, and you don't want anybody, like random players, to come in, then you guys can put in a password here. And then this is the only one that we've opened up so far. There's 2 other ones in the game. So America's effigy at the Round Table Hold. So I'll show you that when we get to the Round Table Hold. There's a statue that you can enter these Colosseums from the Round Table Hold, so you don't have to come all the way over here to get into one. So if you want to fight against other players, go ahead. They do keep track of score, but so far they haven't released anything like that. Like if you are winning most of your fights, you'll have a golden sign, and then if you are losing most of your fights, it just remains as is when you started. So they do keep track, and I haven't seen any prizes or any competitions or anything like that for leaderboards or anything. So But they might do it, you know, later in a DLC. But I'm just coming around here to show you guys that the rest of the Colosseum is pretty much empty. And in fact, when this game first came out, those Colosseums weren't available. They were completely closed off, and there was no PvP whatsoever in this game, except for being summoned as a duelist and stuff like that. So that came out just a couple months ago, and yeah, it was very welcomed. Everybody was very happy about it. Liked it a lot. Alright, so come up over here. We're just gonna... That's where we fought the... Oh no, we haven't gone down there yet. Okay, so yeah, we got a stone golem down there to take out. And a talisman for Torrent, I believe. And that should be where the troll is, I think. Oh no, okay, I know where this is. That's in front of the camp, which means it's right over by some catacombs. Okay. Just get my bearings straight. My apologies. So we'll come down over here. We cleared out that invader. And don't be worried if it takes you a few times to fight him. You know, they're a little bit of a different fight than some of the other normal enemies and bosses. So, oh, okay. Before we take out this camp, we're gonna come up over here to this ledge. So you see, this is where we fought the knight that gave us Golden Vow. If we come up over here, though, we'll see down over here. We can jump down onto this roof. And grab a Great Lance. So this is a spear, but it's considered a Great Spear. I mean, there's actually only like 3 or 4 Great Spears in the game, so this is one of them. And I'll use spears a little bit later. They're actually pretty good weapons, so I'm going to go ahead and go back over and sit down at the Grace and replenish my flasks and everything, and then we're going to sneak up behind the camp and take it out. Also going to make it morning just to give ourselves more time to walk around freely without having to run into nighttime bosses. Alrighty. Let's see where we're at for level up. We're 4,000 away. Oh, I actually want to mix my Wondrous Physic real quick. Now that we got a few more tiers, that'll be more useful to us. So let's go ahead and boost our strength. So I'll do more damage. Okay, so come back around behind the shack. We're gonna come up to this little opening over here. Guys chasing me, bugging me in the camp. Okay, so right up over here, we got this little crevice next to this ruins that we can sneak up into and start pulling these guys out one at a time, or at least fighting them in a safe area. If we get overwhelmed, we can run up into there. So we'll go ahead, and there's a knight over here that we want to take out first. Let's go ahead and just walk up and give him a repost, and then we're going to run, because there's dogs everywhere. So go ahead and just roll away, and then get on Torrent and run. And we're going to come up here, and we'll fight everything up on Torrent, just one at a time, especially the dogs, because the dogs are annoying. See how agile they dodge and they spin away and then leap back in? Yeah, it's super annoying. So just make sure the dogs are a little bit away from the knight so that we can take them out, and then we'll fight the knight. And just stay up over here so that you don't aggro the any of the trolls. You don't want the trolls. Oh man, didn't even see him. You don't want the trolls coming at you. Man, I hate these dogs so much. There. Okay, now we can fight the knight. Actually gonna parry him. Oh, I forgot. I'm at 16 strength now, so I can use this with one hand. Awesome. Didn't even realize that. Sweet. I was about to think that it wasn't going to do much damage because I was one-handing it, but did pretty good. Okay. Now, go ahead and just walk up and take out these soldiers. Just try and stay away from the dogs. So we're going to sneak up on the dog and give him a stampward uppercut because he's a beefy dog. It's one of the bigger ones. He's trying to hide there as a trap too. So let's go ahead and knock him down. And there's guys that are going to throw bombs at us over here. So let's go ahead and ride up on Torrent and take them down. My horse? How dare you? Okay. Oh, there's this one guy. Alright. Let's go ahead and head through the camp. Oh, well, we just woke up one other dude. Oh, guess he didn't get aggroed. That's interesting. Right. So there's one more guy over here and a dog, I believe. There's actually a guy up over there, too. So, let's repost him. There's two back. There should be a dog on the outside. Walking around. There he is. So let's wait till he turns around. He's coming towards us. You wouldn't think with how cute they are they'd be so vicious and annoying, but they are, man. They are some of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. Just waiting for him to turn around so we can go up and knock him up in the air. Or knock him... There we go. So it's a bigger dog, so the bigger ones have more health, defense, attack power, range, all that stuff, so... Yeah, you want to take the bigger ones out from behind. And there should be one last guy up here. Where'd he go? Thought there was another guy up here. Oh, guess not. Alright, looks like that's the entire camp. Thought there was one more soldier walking around, but... So if we come over here, we got a couple of items. Exalted Flesh raises our attack power. Very, very good item, but very, very rare and hard to make. The items that you need to make it are very hard to farm. So every single one of those is an absolute godsend. Alrighty, so let's get this chest, and it's a pretty good shield. If you haven't got the other shield that we bought in the previous episode, this will be your first 100% physical block shield. Very, very good. And it's very, very light, too. It's always good when you have a light shield that does very good damage negation. Yeah, always welcome. So we're going to come down here to a grace, and there's going to be a bridge, and there's two different sides. Just like the area in Limgrave, down over here. There were two different sides, camp on one, boss on the other. Same thing here. Going down this path, we got a cave up over here, and some items and some demi-humans and a golem to fight. And then we have an NPC over here, and then we're going to head down into this area to fight a boss. If we have enough time. I'm trying to keep these episodes at 2 hours apiece. Don't worry, we'll go help this guy in a sec. I'm trying to keep these episodes at about 2 hours apiece not to overwhelm and not to cram too much information into one video at once. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down because we're not gonna go back to that camp or anything like that. So let's go ahead and replenish our flasks and whatnot. And then we're gonna go up over here to the northern side first.
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
Another NPC that everybody absolutely just loves. If you come up here, there's a little ledge and we can climb up the cliff. And then immediately to our left there will be some catacombs. Let's go ahead and head on in there and grab the grace. These catacombs have a katana in it, so a lot of people come to these catacombs and speed runs and stuff like that immediately so they can grab a second katana. And I keep forgetting to talk to these guys, I apologize. Unthinkable, our hallowed resting place is violated. To refuse the Erdtree's call to return, to live within death, sickening. He's describing the skeletons that are in this catacombs. Alright, so we'll wrap around and we'll collect any foliage, and then we're gonna fight this golem. I believe he's guarding a talisman for Torrent. Oh, I killed him. I was like, why is that one not flying away? Didn't know I hit him. Okay, so here is the golem. Just go ahead and, as normal, run up to his feet, start giving him whacks, charged attacks. Immediately we'll stand him up and stagger him. We'll just give him a nice vicious repost. And that's that. Now, see if we get some feathers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what's up. And over here is the talisman. Lance Talisman, and it is for Torrent. So when you put this on and you're on Torrent and you're fighting, you will do 10% more damage. So if you're doing lots of fighting on Torrent, which I expect, you know, most beginners will do, slap that on and you will do some more damage to your enemies. And right now it's kind of iffy because we only have one talisman slot, and you got to really decide, you know, what benefit you want and what you want to do. So once we get more, we get 3 more talisman slots in the game. Once we get those 3, it'll feel a lot more comfortable because we'll be able to choose different stuff, not just being pinned down to one only. All right, we got some demi-humans over here. Go ahead and take them down real quick. Little monkeys. Stop jumping around. Thought there was a guy with a spiked club around here. Okie doke. That should be everything on this side. Now we can go head over to the other side and meet our NPC who's asking us for help. Just can't help myself. Gonna see if I need a feather. Yeah. Those flight pinions add up. Oh yeah, we got some guards over here. Guarding a ruin, I believe. Oh my gosh, see, he broke me out of my charged attack animation with the simple little knife swing, because that's just, oh, this guy has gold eyes, so if you'll watch, let me take this guy out. So we got 56 runes from this guy, but if we take this guy out with gold eyes, we get 280, which would be about 5 times the amount that they normally drop. So any enemy with gold eyes is always going to drop more runes. Okie doke. That's this side cleared out. Now we'll go meet our next NPC. Ooh, stay away from that dog. Come up on over here.
Hello?
But first we're going to clear out this lake over here, just so we don't
Hello?
accidentally get this NPC hit by anything, in case it chases you over by him. Because like I said, if an NPC gets hit, whether it's by you or an actual enemy in the game, they will aggro on you. So if you're around NPCs that are near enemies, you want to take out the enemies first. Because even if it's not your fault and the NPC is getting hit by an enemy, they'll still be aggroed onto you. It's stupid. It's just the way the game works, so. Fortunately, we gotta take out some. I hate these guys. These guys drop a helmet that has actually very, very good damage negation. It's pretty gross and pretty weird looking, but yeah, it's a rare drop, but it is pretty cool if you get it at the beginning of the game. It can help a lot with your damage negation. And take out this poor turtle. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Down over here, we got an Arteria leaf that this guy's guarding, so let's go ahead and take him out and then grab the leaf. And these leaves you also do not want to sleep on. They're super important. They make some of the best items in the game. If you're not a faith build, you definitely want to take out as many dragonflies as you can, because they will they'll be how you're going to heal yourself from scarlet rot and poison. Post him. Thought he was gonna push me off the cliff. Me down. Damn, it's a big AoE explosion. Gotcha. Alright, all that for this leaf. Very important. Remember, these leaves do not respawn, so there's only about 50, maybe 60 of them in the game. However, later on, in one of the later areas of the game, there is a troll, just like that one, that is extremely strong, that you can farm Arteria leaves from. He's the only enemy in the entire game that drops them, so we will eventually be farming them from him. So if you're running low, you don't want to start a new game, just go ahead and take down that troll. Fun of it. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and go down to this NPC. That's everything in this area.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello?
Okay, dang it.
Hello?
Well, I'll get it when I go down there.
Anyone? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this?
Yes, we can.
My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. There's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
Alright, so we come up behind him. We're just going to give him 2 charged attacks. 1, 2. And then we get the Triumphant Delight gesture. Don't attack him.
Ah, Well played, good lady. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Ah. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this. Once again, the pleasure is mine. I am the warrior Jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander, in fact. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter? I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle, on the southern edge of the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. I've heard there's...
And so that's the extension of Sir Alexander's quest for now. We'll see him very shortly in another area. Let's go on down here. Let's refill our flasks, and then we'll fight this pumpkin head. He's a little distracted. Also, he can actually walk towards you and hit you while you're sitting at this side of grace. It's been known to happen. I'm not sure if they've corrected it yet, so just be wary that that side of grace actually is one of the more dangerous ones. So go ahead and come up behind him while he's rocking out. Not sure if he noticed us yet. And try and get behind him so we can give him a stamp word uppercut. Got him. There we go. And we'll give him a charged attack from behind. Stay off Torrent on this bridge, because he will catch you with his head slams, and then he will just knock you straight off the bridge. I've had it happen to me many times, so very, very careful of him. But we're going to come down here to a merchant.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
Yes, I am. I'm going to sell him our leaves that we got. Keep our roas and our herbas. Make sure you keep these two. And the reason why is because of this book he sells. This is going to teach us how to make pickled turtleneck, which is, man, just so awesome. So buy this book. Buy this. This halberd is very, very good. So if you didn't start with the halberd, this is the halberd that the Vagabond class starts with. And it does very good damage, has very good range. I highly recommend, if you don't have a halberd yet, if you didn't pick up one from the enemy, or you're not using the one from the Tree Sentinel because of the damage subtraction it does from not having enough strength and faith to use it, buy this halberd. And this halberd will do just fine. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to use other weapons, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip it, but I highly recommend purchasing this halberd if you don't have one yet. I'm going to buy this just because I love the way this mask looks. And we're going to buy the 3 stones. And if you have the money, I recommend buying these 3 pickled turtlenecks. We've been taking out enough turtles, though, that we're going to...
I must apologise. I'm afraid I've very little to offer.
That's alright, man. But there's some turtles over here, and we've been taking out enough turtles that we are able to make our own pickled turtlenecks. We are going to go back and buy those 3 when we have some spare runes, though, because every single one adds up and counts. And that's the reason we've been hurting these poor turtles. Let's go ahead and take these 3 turtles out and make our pickled turtleneck. And then we're going to go fight a boss. That'll be the end of the episode. Man, these guys have extreme damage negation because of their hefty shells. I feel really bad hurting them. I really do. Alright, so now that we have that crafting book, we can make these pickled turtlenecks. So that's why we've been hurting the turtles, and why I'm saying the herbas are super important, because these go fast. It takes 3 row of fruit just to make 1 turtleneck, so that's why we've been stocking up on them, and why we haven't been selling them after a certain point, is so that we can make these. These are Awesome. We're going to go ahead and make a couple of holy pots because we have a enemy coming up that is weak to holy. So I'm going to go ahead and put our turtleneck right there so we can pop them before we go into a boss battle. Let's come down over here, and we're going to have... Oh, thought that was alive. We're going to have some skeletons to fight. Oh, no, there's a side of grace down here, so, okay. Let's go fight the skeletons. Alright, guys. And some of these skeletons that are going to pop up have a scythe that a lot of people love. It scales with strength and not dexterity. The other scythes scale with dexterity. This is the only scythe that scales with strength. These are the guys that you farm to get them. Not these guys, but what's coming up. Pretty sure they're down here. Yeah, these guys right here. This scythe is very, very good. It does blood loss, has lots of damage. Very awesome. Very awesome scythe. Oh, I messed that up. Oops, forgot to hit that guy before he got back up. Hopefully he doesn't heal all the way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Got him. That was close. Okay. Just some more parrying for you. Like I said, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it on a boss. Particularly the one that we saw in the shack. But until then, I'm just doing it so you guys can get familiar with it. You guys kind of see the rhythm of it, stuff like that. You know, I just figured if I just jump right into the boss and start parrying, it's going to be a little jarring and overwhelming. So I'm just trying to showcase it a little bit here and there as we approach towards the actual boss that you're going to learn how to parry on. It's an important skill in the game, and it makes a lot of incredibly tough fights much, much easier to deal with and handle. And it's fun. It just, as soon as you get a parry off, I promise you'll become addicted to it. It is so much fun to parry. So we're just coming down here, make sure we get all these corners here, make sure there's no foliage that we missed. As always, Arteria leaves or St. Trina lilies lurking in corners. And that's how you find them in this game, is by checking out all of the possible edges of any landmass. As we work our way down towards this town, you will see a person standing here. Do not attack him. He's an NPC. A rule of thumb, if you see somebody in this game and they don't come charging at you and they don't have a health bar, you know, appear.
Is there? Death has left its mark once again.
Then that means they're an NPC, and you don't want to go up and just start attacking them. So let's go ahead and meet this guy.
Ah, a Tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death, and worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further. The village here has turned back while you still can.
Thanks for the warning, my friend. Now we're going to come on down here to this side of grace. And then we're going to put on Sacred Blade. That Ash of War, the Holy Ash of War that we found. And you see that guy in the purple boat? Little purple dude? That's the guy we're going to fight. He is... When they say living in death, they mean zombies. That's the zombies in this game, and the skeletons and stuff like that. So they're basically undead. Anything that's living in death, think undead. And healing and holy spells will absolutely demolish them. So that's what we're going to do. Going to increase our faith instead of our strength, so we can do more holy damage. Then we're going to put Sacred Blade on this. And we're going to use Sacred. As you can see here, if I have it at standard, it'll do about 156 damage, but when you do to Sacred, it'll do about 102 damage, and then another 100 with the holy damage. This is also damage that will be on there. Now, if something is strong to holy, then it will take less damage from this, but this guy's weak to holy, so this is all going to go through. He's going to receive all 115 or 105 damage from the holy that's on our blade. So go ahead and click on Sacred, and then take one of these daggers that we have and put on Golden Vow. Don't worry about whether it's standard or sacred, doesn't matter, because we're just doing it for the skill. So now, I'm going to put on the turtleneck shield for our stamina, two-hand this, but before we do, we're going to switch over to the dagger. I'm going to get rid of the bow, I don't need that weight, and this. Okay. Oh, okay, so the fire pots will do decent enough damage, but the holy pots are really what we want for this fight, so... And I will go ahead and... Yeah, I'll be doing charged attacks more than anything, so we'll leave that on. Alright, so the very first thing that's going to happen is this guy's going to disappear and then reappear in a different part in the lake. And then he's going to summon skeletons. And those skeletons are just like the ones we've been fighting. You know, they're pretty weak and stuff like that, but they can group up on you. So we're going to go ahead and summon the doggos for this fight. But before we do that, we're going to eat a pickled turtleneck. We're going to drink our flask. And we're going to summon the doggos. And then we're going to switch over to this. And we're going to use this. Now watch the doggos. Now you see how they're golden? It also works for your spirit ashes and stuff like that. Go ahead and drink your flask to refill. So don't attack this guy right off because he's going to disappear. Okay, so don't use any Ashes of War or anything. Wait till he reappears and then go ahead and use Sacred Blade on him. Now there's Holy Essence on our blade and it'll do some just absurd damage to him. So now he's summoned his skeletons. We'll let the doggos kind of focus on them. As you can see, the holy damage is just tearing him up. So he'll pick up. Yep, and I staggered him with the holy pot. Dodge that and jump up and give him a strong attack. Oh, give him another strong attack, and that's it. And then once he's down, these skeletons will go down too. And then we thank our doggos for helping us. Thank you, doggos. And we get some death root and some more ashes. And the reason the doggos are still here is because there's still skeletons inside this actual ruins and stuff. So let's go ahead and go fight all the rest of the skeletons. Come up on over here. Oh, it's not letting me jump off Torrent. That was weird. Okay, we'll just go up and through here. And so Sacred Blade, I should show. So watch right here. He dies and does not respawn. He's not doing the respawn animation where you have to hit them one more time. Oh, our doggos are gone. So that was the rest of the skeletons. Thank you, doggos. So we'll come around here. There's a couple of loots and some rare flowers. And then we have a talisman, one of the best talismans in the game to go get. But until then, as we always do, I'm going around picking up foliage and checking for stuff like herbas. Yep, very important. Very, very important. Going up here, there's another ruins. So there's about 4 or 5 different buildings in this ruins. So we're just going to search every single one at a time. Grab goodies like this. And so this is where we're at right now. We're just going to go ahead and clean out all these ruins, and then we're going to go talk to the guy that we just talked to, and that'll be the end of the episode. Do not go up to that church yet. We'll go up to that church at the beginning of the next episode and fight another NPC, just like the one that we fought earlier. And then, next episode, we are going to head into the Land of Rot, known as Caelid, which is where Alexander was describing to us. There should be a bunch of turtles around here, too. The turtles, as I said, are super weak to just any status ailment, including Holy. So you see how much damage that did? And then just one hit after that took him out. And unfortunately, this next room is very sad, because we're going to be taking out a lot of turtles still. Let's go ahead and use a stone sword key to open this up. And the reason there's a bunch of turtles down here is because of the talisman that is in here. Let's go ahead, and while you still have the Holy Essence on your blade, go ahead and take them out really quick. Give us a bunch of turtlenecks for our item crafting. I'm so sorry, guys. I wish there was another way. As soon as I get turtleneck available to buy, I will not hurt any more turtles after that, I promise. Unfortunately, the turtleneck meat is just too valuable. Alright, and this is the talisman that I'm going to be wearing for quite a while. Green turtle talisman. It does the exact same thing that our shield does, and it stacks on top of it. So now it just says up, but we have 2 different sources that are increasing our stamina speed, and they do stack. So now we will have very, very fast recovery. Basically, we're just having haste right now. There's a couple more buildings to check out real quick, and then we'll go talk to this NPC and wrap it on up. That's the 3rd church, and we're going to go down this hill, because I said last time that we didn't go up this hill because we're going to go down it right here. So that's why I said promise you that every area will be explored. If it seems like, hey, you missed this part, it's like, nope, we're just going to do it a different episode, I promise you. No idea what that noise was. Oh, it's a guy shooting skulls at me. Guess there's a skeleton. It's weird that the doggos disappeared even though there's still a skeleton here. No scythe. Hey. Ow. Oh! Dude. Can't be sneaking up on people. That ain't cool. That should be everything in these ruins. Let's go check over on these ruins real quick. There should be skeletons over here that are going to pop up, if I remember correctly. Yes. Okay. Now fire does not do what the holy pots do. The holy pots will keep them from reviving, but fire does just as good damage. Oh, I'm not allowed. But it does not keep them from respawning. You have to hit them one more time. But fire does absolutely amazing damage against undead enemies and creatures in this game. Oh, dude, what you doing? So these are the guys that drop the curved swords. So if you're looking for a second curved sword, these are good skeletons to farm for another curved sword. Alright, we got the Trina lilies that were there. And we're just gonna hop up on top of the runes to see if there's any other goodies. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything else up here. Let's go check on that side, and then we'll go talk to the NPC. Down over there by the pond where we met Alexander, so let's go ahead and head on over and talk to D. I guess he didn't tell us our name yet. Shouldn't have said that. My apologies. I'm also going to try very hard not to ever spoil anything in this game. I just didn't realize that he hadn't said his name there. He didn't say his name, so. But there he is. After you beat the Tibia Mariner, he will spawn into the town itself, or the ruins, I should say. So there he is right there. So remember, be careful jumping off. If you jump off the horse next to him or you roll into him, it will do damage and it can aggro him after a certain amount of time, so be careful. Always just walk up calmly to these NPCs.
Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, then I'll introduce you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you?
Say yes.
Very well. Show me your map. Of I've marked the location for you of a hidden gateway. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to. I spotted the mark of the centipede here in the village. An ill-omened symbol that should not be. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated. What is it? Still milling about? The map indicates where the gateway is hidden. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
Alright, and that's the end of his dialogue for now. Let's go see if we got enough for a level up. I think we don't. I think we might. I'm not too sure. Can't remember what the next level up. I think it's 8,000. Let's go check. Oh. That's weird. This Grace is acting like I'm in combat for some reason. It won't let me sit at it. That's very weird. Let's go ahead and fast travel to it, see if that works. Yeah, so if you have an enemy nearby, then the Grace will be dim and it won't let you rest at it. So in order to rest at a Grace, you have to be out of combat. Now you can be in combat and run to a Grace and sit down at it, but if the enemies get too close, then it dims away like it just did and it won't let you sit down. Not too sure what was happening that caused it to dim like that. And so D is gone. He's moved on to his next spot, so let's go ahead and sit down real quick. Hey, we got enough for a level up. Okay, so we did Dexterity last, so we'll go ahead and dump one into Faith. And then we will go to... just keep going down the line until we get Endurance and Strength up to 20, and then we'll start focusing more on Vigor, Mind, and getting Dexterity up to 20. And then once we get Dexterity up to 20, we will start laying into Strength and Faith really hard to get them up into the 30s and 40s towards the mid-game so we can do extra good damage. So this is where we're going to leave it off for the episode. Thank you guys so much for using my series to help you guys get through the Lands Betweens. It's nothing but my pleasure to make this. It's so much fun. I love sharing what I've learned about this game and showcasing it. It's, yeah, I'm really glad to be doing this project. It's helping me out a lot. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, because you guys know I love you.